wonderful session. And first we're going to start with the first CEO session of the day. The CEO sessions are one-to-one interviews about how global companies are adapting technology and media and advertising to their businesses. Please welcome to the stage the CEO and founder of ArabNet, Omar Christidis, and the CEO of Dunkin Donuts, Assouad, to the stage for the CEO series.
Morning, everyone. We're so excited to have Christine Assouad with us here at ArabNet Beirut. Christine is the CEO of Dunkin Donuts, Lebanon and Semsom. She's been doing this for the last 20 years, so I guess since she was maybe 2 years old.
Absolutely.
And they've got now more than 30 branches of Dunkin Donuts with 10 branches of Semsom, expanded recently into the United States, so something we can also learn about her experience there. But before we kick off, we're going to watch a quick video that they've prepared that I believe even Christine is watching for the first time. So we hope you enjoy.
Coffee and a donut? The combination comes naturally to us, but it hasn't always been like that. There was a time not so long ago when going out for a coffee wasn't quite the cultural norm in Lebanon, let alone having donuts. In fact, a whopping 75% of the Lebanese population did not even know what a donut was back in '97. Can you imagine? Until one university student smelled the need for a caffeine boost and decided to turn things around. At just 22, she brought the Dunkin Donuts franchise to Lebanon. It all started with one small branch on Zelka Highway. And the story only went on to grow bigger and bigger. As the years flew by, Dunkin Donuts became the top destination for coffee and donuts in the country, which called for a consolidated management system. And as Lebanon fell for the sweet smell of morning coffee and dug into more donut hole, a legacy of loyal customers was born. As the smartphone revolution struck, the loyalty translated into a fully fledged digital platform at your fingertips. And the happy moments never stopped rolling in. Today, Dunkin Donuts remains Lebanon's most beloved coffee shop. And continues to bring happiness to coffee and donut lovers every day. Dunkin Donuts, 20 years of happiness.
Did that make anybody hungry? I feel a little peckish for a donut. Christine, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And I wanted to start out by asking you about technology as a strategic component in your business. We do the CEO series because we understood that technology has gone from being something marginal or being something focused of just the IT department to being something really for a strategic level at the CEO, thinking about how it's touching every touch point in the business. So can you tell us how you're integrating technology strategically in what you're doing?
You're absolutely right. Over the last few years, we've seen a shift from the IT department to the boardroom in terms of technology, and our experience in the US definitely helped to show us where the world is heading and to help us come back home with some ideas and solutions. And we've been focusing on two main topics on the technology side, on the customer experience and how to enhance the customer experience through technology, whether our external customer or internal customers, as we call them, and then definitely improving the efficiency of the business with all the apps that can help us become more and more efficient. So these are the two main topics that we're working on.
And maybe we could dive a little bit further into those. So one thing for me, for example, that's really interesting is about the retail experience, right? Today, a lot of people are talking about, especially with apps like on livery, and How many people here would just rather order something online than go to a store? Raise your hand if you'll order something online rather than go to a store, right? And so today,
but you still have the majority.
You
That's
still
like
have, I'm amazed by that, by the way. I'm amazed, but still, that's 50% of the audience. That's still a significant chunk of your customer base. So what does that mean for a retail-driven business like yourself?
The retail experience really transformed. If you look at the video, when we started 20 years ago, we had the Casio, where you had to type and then get back and enter on Excel every single piece of data. And today we have 3 different Wi-Fis in the store, one for customer, one for data, one for the employees. So the world have definitely changed. And we focused on the mobile app as being our platform of communication with our customers. So the mobile app is a payment tool, is a loyalty program. They can pay with their points. They can really have a lot of fun. We're doing a lot of games. We even have a rally paper throughout Lebanon this summer for the 20th anniversary. All is going through the mobile app to make the experience better for the customers. We know them better because we can turn all this noise into data and try to enhance their experience. And we play with them and we interact with them in ways that were never the case before. And we're doing the same for our employees as well. So they have their own version of the mobile app, they have games, they have badges, we rate them, so they get "you've been rated" every time one of us passes by the store. All their meals is on the app, so there's a lot of interaction that is being done online.
And how are you able to do some level of personalization or customization driven by this information that you have about the customers when they enter into the store?
Of course, and this is the most exciting part of it. We know people so well nowadays. We know their behaviors. We know what they like to eat, how often do they come to the store, and we try to tailor the promotions, the offers, even the games, based on the behavior of different groups of customers, and we can feel the interaction, the redemption. Everything have changed since we started focusing on data and the mobile app.
So, but what about the other 50% of the people here in the audience, right? They want e-commerce. Are you looking at e-commerce as a channel? Are you working with any of the e-commerce providers today? What has your experience been or thoughts on this?
We started a week ago, the online delivery through the mobile app. We also have possibility that we're working on through our mobile app for e-commerce and to go to the customer and not wait for the customer to come back. So it's actually both. It's trying to enhance their experience in our stores and trying to reach them wherever they are.
Do you have any preliminary sense of how the e-commerce experience is going?
So far, as you can see, around 25% of people prefer to use the app and get delivered.
This is your existing customer base?
Yes.
Okay.
No, we're talking about general public. From here,
okay.
Yeah. But what we noted, and there was a lot of tests being done in the US with Dunkin, where they put, the boxes where you can order your own thing, but it's really a human interaction thing. What made Dunkin Lebanon special, and this is what we're mostly proud of, we are in the smiling business. We're in the happy place business. We're not only in the coffee and donut business. It's this, we're using technology to enhance the human interaction and not to replace the human interaction. And this is very important to us. The fact that we know the customer better, we can react and have cues to interact better with them. But there's still this, getting into a store, making sure the person in front of you, knowing your name, knowing how you like your coffee, and starting your day with this human interaction is what Dunkin is all about.
Great. And I think that's interesting because consumer behaviors are changing so much. And I know you now have gone into the United States. Mm-hmm. You are experiencing kind of building a retail business in a very sophisticated market in New York City in particular, right?
Yeah.
And so the consumers are probably even more demanding when it comes to technology. So I'm curious, what are some of the things that you've learned from the US experience? And how are you bringing some of those insights back to Lebanon?
The US experience has been the most challenging, most difficult experience I've ever had so far, but the most exciting, and this is where we're learning so much. I feel that I'm always going back and forth in time. Like, I go to New York, and I can see the future, so they are where we're going to be in 5 years, so which is great, because we know where we're heading in 5 years, so it's helping us get ideas and cues on where to invest and how to direct and how to work on our mobile app. A lot of the things that we're doing now in Lebanon are inspired by our US experience.
Can you give us a bit more specific examples of things that you saw in New York that were amazing to you or interesting or different?
From a customer loyalty experience, you have so many apps, so many. Today, I think it's not the lack of data, it's having too much data that is the problem. We're flooded with so many data and we don't really know how to work with or how to use them. And there are a lot of apps in the US that are data mining, that are using artificial intelligence to make this data make sense and create better experiences. And this is what we're using. Even from an efficiency, like all the new ERPs, like the old ERPs that were extremely costly and very rigid. Today you have so many things that are very agile that we can use to become more efficient, from the production, from the way we import, the way we distribute. It's a whole new world out there, and we're learning and adapting and coming back to Lebanon with new ideas. And we're using also a lot in Semsom. Yes, we have 3 outlets now. We have a pop-up store at Goldman Sachs as well in New York, and this is transforming the way we think even.
So interesting that you talked about AI and data. Mm-hmm. Do you think that this could be a new touch point as well? I mean, like maybe in the future, I'm not going to actually talk to a human. I'm going to talk to Alexa, and I'm going to ask her about my next cup of coffee, or Siri, or some other non-human component.
This is a big debate because I was at an executive program at Stanford last June, and it was as if I was going 50 years from now. So it's like New York is in 5 years, Stanford and Palo Alto is in 50 years, and it was all about Alexa. And it was my first interaction with something that looks like a human but is a robot, and a lot of the things that you were talking about, Alexa and all. And I still believe, and we're betting on the fact, that Alexa is not replacing human in the retail experience because of this human touch, human interaction that a robot cannot do. The robot is going to know you better than any human. We're using this information to have it so that when you get to our stores, you will have the counter. So the person behind the counter has a lot of information about you. So this can trigger discussion and can trigger an experience.
How will it know?
But this 1 minute, 1 minute experience, 1 minute connection, you cannot have with a robot, right? Okay.
Right? That's a good question. How many people here, let's ask the audience, how many people here would be just as fine engaging with a robot at a Dunkin' Donuts store if they sounded mostly like a human, right? Is that a fair question? Mostly like a human?
Mostly.
Mostly, not fully. You know they're a robot. Even if, let's ask 2 questions. 1, you interacted with a robot, you know they're a robot, they're not a human. They don't have the empathy and the emotional connection that Christine is talking about, but they serve you coffee, and when you walk in, they know what coffee you want, and it's a fast, seamless process. How many people would be just as fine with this as versus a human? Raise your hand, please. Okay. What if that
25%.
What if that robot demonstrated some empathy, some human qualities? You still know that they're not a robot, that they are a robot, but they are more humanoid. Would that make a difference? Raise your hand if you think that would be no difference for me than a human. I mean, I had more people raising their hand previously,
yes.
so.
So more than 60% still prefer humans. Thank you, because we're really betting on it. What I really learned from Stanford, and we're trying to work on, is to use artificial intelligence and technology to help create a better human experience, but still keeping it a human experience. And this is what we believe it's going to be at least for the next few years. So we'll see how this goes.
Okay. So with all of this technology integration that you've been doing and really futuristic thinking about the value proposition of the retail experience, what are some of the biggest challenges that you faced and how did you overcome some of those challenges?
We have many challenges, especially in Lebanon. First, internet speed. This has been a huge challenge, and we hope this is going to improve with time. Second, convincing our team members as well, because I have the chance of being exposed and of seeing the future, but not everybody can see the future, and just training them and showing them how we can use this future and not be afraid of the future. Even at Stanford, 50% of the crowd when we were talking with this human robot were like, oh my God, this is horrible, and 50% were, oh my God, this is exciting.
Kind of like our audience.
Exactly. I'm in the exciting part. Now, how can we use it? We cannot go back. This is where the world is heading. But how can we use it to our advantage to create a better environment, a better happy place for our customers, but also for our team members. So both of them are important to us.
Amazing. So I want to open up the floor to questions. If we have some questions from the floor. Okay, I see one right back there, the gentleman back there. Can we get him a mic? Yes, there we go. Other questions? So I see you from now, guys.
While we're waiting for the questions,
Jad, right there.
We created an ArabNet 2018 promo code. So if you download the Dunkin app, it's called Dunkin Lab on Android and on iOS. From now till 2 p.m., you will get 200 points so that you can go and enjoy and try our mobile app experience in our stores.
Amazing. And measurable.
And measurable, yes.
So, question.
All right. Thank you for the talk. It was very inspiring. My question is, how is Dunkin' Donuts using big data and the blockchain essentially to make sure that it's sourcing the food essentially is ethically sourced and it's creating the least impact on the environment? Because I know a lot of companies are concerned about that. So I'm just curious how you're doing it in Lebanon and globally as well. Thank you.
We have the worldwide Dunkin brand that is working a lot on a lot of energy-saving actions and going after every single ingredient, making sure the traceability of every ingredient, making sure that we don't have any artificial colorant, artificial products in the product. And at the local level, so this is how to make our business more efficient through technology. We are using the technology, we are using softwares to be able to trace, because we import from the US a part of our product and some of it coming from Lebanon. We produce, we deliver to the store, and then we sell to customers. So we have the whole chain, and using technology to become more efficient and to be able to trace every single item is being very helpful as well.
Other questions from our audience? Great. Sure. Michel.
Hi there. You spoke about data empowering the future experience of the customers in store. How are you collecting this data, and how are you activating this data on a...
How are you, sorry?
Collecting.
How are you collecting the data today, and what are you planning to do, and what kind of tools are you using to see how you bring the data points together in some sort of container, linking the CRM, and how are you planning to activate that through marketing?
Okay. So for now, we have three ways of collecting data. We're collecting data through the POS system, because with the POS, we know exactly what's being ordered at every location, every point in time. We're collecting through the mobile app, and again, I encourage you to download the mobile app because it's becoming a focus. We have 20,000 active users now, and we're working, because the more we have data through the mobile app, the more the data is accurate, the more we can work on. And the third is the Wi-Fi enabled activities or information that some of them are known and we can link to the mobile app when they are using the same email, and some of them are unknown users. So we would know in general, let's say we have 5% catch rate in this particular place, and we can track it and see how it's going. So we have three ways of collecting data, and we're working internally on a program that is collecting the data from the three different touch points to be able to become even more efficient and to be able to connect all of them.
And so how do you activate it?
Okay, activated, we're using, of course, we're using the data to give tailor-made promotions or offer. Let's say you're in a group that drinks only coffee and you're not eating anything at the store, so we're giving you something like a free product for you to try. If you come in the morning, you don't come in the afternoon, we will encourage you to come in the afternoon. If you haven't been to Dunkin for 2 weeks and usually you come 3 times a week, we're prompt you to give you something to come back. So it's 2 layers. It's first to give you ideas or incentive to come more often to the store. But third is based on your behaviors to give you product that we think you would like to enhance your experience in our store. And we're having a lot of fun this summer because it's our 20th anniversary. We're doing a lot of games and pushing people to go from one store to the other. And when you will have your QR code, some 3D things are going to appear. I'm not going to say more, but it's going to be a lot of fun this summer.
Amazing. Maybe we have room for one more question. There was someone up front who wanted to ask a question, Jad, the lady over here.
Hi, this isn't a technology-related question. I was just wondering, this isn't a technology-related question. I was just wondering, like, how Dunkin' Donut was affected by the shift in lifestyle of most of the people in the Mediterranean region. Like, most of us are shifting to a more healthier lifestyle or more healthy food in general. For example, when I was in college, that was basically my diet, Dunkin' Donuts and coffee. But after I graduated, it was more on the healthy side.
Now you're eating quinoa and chia seeds.
Kale. So we're doing both. So first we have the coffee that is 0 calorie. Then we have the donuts that is between 180 and 220 calories per donut. I'm a nutritionist by study. And so 180 to 220 for a snack. Of course, an apple is better, but it is a snack that you can have almost every day. And then third, we're developing a full line of product, like you were saying, yogurt, chia seed, and the healthy stuff as well. So you'll have, if you want to treat yourself, a donut from time to time is a great idea. And if you want, the healthy thing that you want to eat every day, we'll have this option as well.
Christine, thank you so much for taking the time to join us.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Sharing your insights. And if you'd like to get to know Christine some more, she's going to be around with us through the afternoon, where she'll be judging the Creative Combat competition. And so I'm sure she'd be happy to answer more of your questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Wait, one thing for you. So this is something a robot cannot do.
Oh, thank you.
And wait, a selfie with the audience. I promise my kids that
Yes.
I will get them a selfie when we're done. So show me.